You ever notice this? Some kids don't have to demand respect. They just get it. No yelling, no attitude, no trying too hard. Meanwhile, other kids, same age, same environment, are constantly being corrected, ignored, or brushed aside. But the uncomfortable part is the difference. It usually didn't start at school. It didn't start with friends. It started in moments like this. At home, when nobody was watching. There's a small, almost invisible habit. Something older generations did without even thinking, that quietly builds a child respect for people. And today, most parents have replaced it with something that feels right. But in fact, it does the opposite. Stay with me, because once you see this, you'll start catching it in your own home. Parenting today is very exhausting. You find yourself juggling between almost everything, from work to bills to time and energy. So when your child pushes back, sometimes it just feels easier to bend a little. You convince yourself with thoughts like, fine, just this once, or okay, but hurry up. Or sometimes you say things like, all right, just don't make it a habit. And it feels harmless. But the truth you aren't aware of is that kids don't hear the words. They watch the pattern, and patterns become expectations. There's one specific moment. It lasts maybe 10 seconds. That shapes whether your child becomes respected or constantly challenged. Now watch carefully, because this is where everything splits. That tiny difference, that's the whole game. Because in that moment, your child is learning one thing. Are boundaries real, or are they flexible if I push hard enough? If they're flexible, the child learns to push harder. Not because they're bad, but because it works. And what works at home becomes how they deal with the world. Here's where it gets deeper. Kids who grow up negotiating every boundary, they don't just challenge parents. They challenge everything. Teachers, rules, limits, even themselves. But here's the twist nobody expects. It's not confidence. It's instability. Because when boundaries keep moving, nothing feels solid. Up with something different. Not harshness. Not fear. Just calm, consistent limits. They develop something rare. They don't panic when they hear no. They don't spiral when things don't go their way. They adjust. And people notice that. That's where respect starts showing up. Remember that 10-second moment? Let's zoom in closer, because this is where the grandma secret really lives. Back then, it wasn't complicated. No long speeches. No emotional debates. Just consistency. Not louder. Not stricter. Just unshakable. And that's the secret most people missed. It wasn't about control. It was about certainty. Because once a child realizes, this doesn't change, no matter how I react, something shifts. They stop testing, not out of fear, but because the answer is clear. And clarity creates calm. Respect isn't something you teach with words. It's something you build, moment by moment, boundary by boundary. And those small moments, they add up, quietly, powerfully, over time. If you've been seeing things a little differently while watching this, then you already get it. There's more to this than what most people are saying out loud. So don't rush off just yet. Stick around. Because once you start noticing these patterns, you can't unsee them. And that's where things really start to change. Your grandmother figured out something in children psychologists are only now proving, and most modern parents have completely forgotten it. She never negotiated respect, she modeled it. Grandma didn't demand, say please. She said please to everyone, even the child. Kids mirror what they see, not what they're told. She gave real responsibilities, not chores as punishment. A child who sets the table every night doesn't feel burdened, they feel needed. That sense of contribution is where self-respect is born. Grandma corrected quietly, never in public. Grandma would pull you aside. That private correction taught the child that dignity matters even when you're wrong. Shame never built character, it just built resentment. She let children sit with adults and be heard. Not talked over, not sent away. When a child's words are taken seriously, they learn their voice has weight, and they choose their words carefully. She tied love to presence, not to performance. Grandma's hug wasn't a reward. It was unconditional. Children who don't fear losing love become secure, and secure children don't need to seek validation from everyone around them. She didn't read parenting books, she just understood people. Save this, your kids will thank you for it.